Patrick, can you just help me by spotlighting people?
Yeah.
All right. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Spark Screen Slam Summer Open Mic. I'm really glad to have you here. The poets are really glad to have you here. And today you're going to be hearing a handful of poems from a handful of really dope youth and youth at heart, youth and youth at heart. We have everyone from going into sixth graders to going into that position where you're not counting age and things like that anymore. Thank you very much. So I want to let you know, every single week of the summer, we've had a workshop taught by some local poets. And today we had our very own, near and dear to our heart, Patrick Osland running the workshop today. I'm so glad to have him come in and a slew of poets spotlighting on different weeks. Today, as we get this open mic kicked off, I feel like we can hear from one of our coaches first. So welcome to the stage. We have Patrick Osland.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. I got a poem I wrote in the workshop today. It was actually a group written, part of it, and it is a true story from my life. Here it goes. People are studying for a test. This is high school. Tests fall from the sky like weights dangling from piano strings, clocking us in the head. This is for biology tests, the hurdle we must all jump over to get into college, the place where anything less than a B means your dreams might be smashed along a trash can full of ground up, watered up pieces of paper filled with tears and failed tests. Everyone is studying nervously in the library, and someone brings a copy of this biology test right to the circle of people with all of the answers filled in. I've seen 15 kids with sweat-stained necks laughing saltily at the rest of the class who will surely fail because of the sharpened knife-edge curve of grading caused by this cheating fiasco pouring through each pair of fingers sitting around this table. Everyone is talking loudly and recklessly, with brazen yells across the otherwise quiet library. I'm sitting next to my friend. Their arm brushes against mine with a stampede of nervousness. Panic rips through my throat and presses into my lungs, sucking the air out of the whole room. My eyes shift to each person who's already seen the test, who's already soaked these answers into their brain that they didn't deem strong enough to be put through work to get the grades they needed. They pretend to not be looking at me, but I know each one of them is weighing my decision like a sword dangling above my head, suspended by a single thread. The strands are coming apart. I look at the first question with the answer filled in. I feel my parents' disgust billow up my neck with the sound of years of lessons about hard work and cheating being the same as cutting off your own feet. You see, my mom is a teacher. She knows that the only way we move forward in this world is by the sweat we pour into it, by the grit that we know we are made of, that we know that we can conquer anything that comes in front of us, that we can achieve any struggle, surpass any challenge. I feel a glow lift me out of my chair. I don't need these answers. My intelligence is inside me. I pass the test along to the next person. The next day, I'm called to the principal's office. It smells like dirty socks and crushed dreams. My armpits are a sticky swamp. My parents sit next to the vice principal, and next to him is an empty chair. They are all equally as still as I sit down. The vice principal leans in, says, I know you were at the table in the library with the test. I know you saw the answers like a greedy politician. From you, I need a list of names, a list of the thump of your pulse, if the blood in you matters like the blood of others. If you think you really are a conqueror, if you think you really can just come into any place and take whatever you need. You're only getting out of this by giving me what I need. When I need to know to keep this school in line, I need this list of names. The door to the room slams open with a swift wind pouring from my parents' mouths. Morality is now a waterfall, filling the void of this vice principal who thinks he is a dirty detective rooting out nervous teens on their way to depravity. My parents open their eyes with all of the power they can muster and say, who the hell do you think you are? What kind of kids are you planning on raising here? Do you really think that we can treat each kid in your school like a potential person who's just gonna rat someone else out? Are these the lessons you really are planning on teaching in your biology class? Trying to raise a whole culture of people who only care about throwing someone else under the bus to get themselves out of something. We know you're just telling him this to get what you need. You practically told him that. Shame on you, vice principal. This is not the school we are sending our child to, and this is not the kind of teaching that I gave my children when I was a teacher for 30 years, my mom says to him. The vice principal shuffles nervously in his seat. He looks down at his notes. He looks up at my parents and tries to say something. The words stumble out of his mouth like a bunch of cheated questions that he never really took the time to learn the answers to, that he never really took the time to learn in his own heart what morality really means, that it means more that we take full responsibility for our actions and don't seek to make other people's follies the reason for our behavior. The vice principal stutters something to my parents and says, thank you for your time. And we all leave. The next day, I go to the biology teacher and I tell her, I studied for that test. I studied harder for that test than any dream that I've ever memorized in my life. I've studied harder for that test than any poem that was ever written on the backs of my eyelids, burning itself in my heart, dripping out of my fingertips. I studied so hard for that test because I know college is a place that I need to be in. And I passed that test without having to cheat on it. She looks at me and she says, that's very sweet, Patrick, but I have to fail you anyway. The tears leak from my eyes, jump like people trying to escape a burning building. I say to her, as I'm crying in front of the whole school, how could you do this? I swear I didn't cheat on that test. She says to me, look, if you can ace the final, I'll still give you a B in the class. When that final came, I buried my face into those books so deeply. I had biology pouring out of my ears, dripping from my mouth, leaking out of every pore, gushing through my skin. And I got 95% on that final. Still ended up going to college. Poem. True story. Freestyle second half. Once my parents came into the room, it was freestyle. And I added freestyle bits before that. Right. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. I love the storytelling element where we could completely just follow you through like going to high school. Sometimes it's like rewinding back to high school. Some of you folks might be fast forwarding to what it must be like to be in high school. But going to that place and sitting in that principal's office, in that library, in that room where we have to take a test. And what I really hate the most is when someone accuses me of something that I thought about doing, but didn't. And then they're accusing me and it's, I think there's a song about it, like I should have had. So Patrick taught the workshop today going over philosophical questions. Next week, in the first round of the slam, it is a theme round, an optional theme round. You're not gonna like get kicked off the internet if you don't follow the theme. But there's a theme round of, it is called Deep, Dark, or Weird Philosophical Questions, where in your poem, you can address some sort of philosophical question. Whether you answer it or not, that's up to you. But making the philosophical question a centerpiece or a starting piece in your poems in the first round. If you do this, you get an extra point. If you do this, you get an extra point. I am going to keep this open mic list going. We have one of the seniorest folks in the program. This person, I have seen him grow from a wee little lad to a poet that kind of destroys stages wherever they roam. So please welcome to the stage, we have Kai.
Okay, so this is a very unfinished poem that, but I'm just gonna go for it. The trolley problem. An age-old philosophical question in which the conductor has to make a choice between killing one person and killing many. In which the flick of a switch will decide the fate of 3 people chained to the tracks of the fork in the road, in which time is running, in which time is everything, in which time is running out, in which splat. Blood splashes on the window like mud on a rainy day. People gasp at your decision to wait, to stop, to think as life crumbles down around you and you begin to sink as sirens wail in the distance and you start to think, to make out what you could have done better, could have killed the one person instead of the 2 that you could hit, could have acted faster, sooner, could have prevented the whole thing from happening, the trolley problem. An age-old philosophical question that you hope you would never happen to you, in which you have to value the lives of people in your palms, weigh their deeds in a matter of seconds, rip their souls away from their fat, flattened bodies lying behind you on the tracks. That's all that I have so far in this poem.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Kai, so the trolley problem, I feel like this begs the question. One person that you don't know, 5 people that you don't know. The train is going towards these 5 people. You can save them. You can save all 5 people by flipping a switch, flipping a lever to kill this one person. This person's in the right area. There was no train coming towards this person. Do you kill one person to save 5? What do you think?
Probably, but it's a hard choice to make.
wipe your cheek with wipe the tear off your cheek. That's trying to jump off your face like people escaping from a burning building, and then pull the lever. We could go into all the other iterations, but thank you so much, Kai, for that poem. Every single week, ending next week. Next week is the last summer workshop and the final summer slam. Right now, we're all friends. We're all pals. It's Gucci. But next week, we are all destroying each other on stage in a very pretty friendly poetry slam. Y'all know how it goes. I want to keep this open mic going. Please welcome to the stage. I'm just going to say black belt because her name deserves a black belt. We have K.O.
Hi, spotlight right there. I'm going to be performing this poem for this open mic that I'm plan on doing in the slam. Maybe not first round, but hopefully I can do it. A few weeks ago, my teacher Jamie asked the class a question. If you had a dream house, what would be in it? Anything that you could dream of in your wildest dreams would be in it. I know what you'd pick. A walk-in closet that my mom wants to fit all of her clothes and shoes, a bunk bed with a slide coming down it, a movie theater, a library, or a legendary backyard with a pool and a bouncy castle. Those are some of the things you would probably want. However, I think you misread the question. If you could have anything in a dream house, what would be in it? If I could have anything in my dream house, I would have a pet blue tiger with black stripes to keep me protected against any sort of robbery. The tiger's name would be Raja. My Raja, not Jasmine's, would have its own purpley yellow matching carpet to travel all around my home to keep me protected. In my cozy chill-out zone, there would be fluffy marshmallow floors and cloud walls with scented, floating lavender candles. It's Hogwarts, but no drama, no loud Quidditch games, no goblets of fires or deathly hollows, only magic. In the middle of the section, there would also be a flying hammock for me to release all of my stress into clouds of bubbles. In the cozy chill zone, there would also be a do not disturb room with thick, cloudy white walls and exterior with a jacuzzi. Nothing will be able to disturb me. I won't even need to worry about my friends texting at 10 p.m. bragging about the score they got on a test. The cozy chillax zone is wonderful. Imagine has all some of the best things to chillax on. When you're exiting the cozy child zone, go to the end of the hall and make a left. Now you have officially entered the crazy hangout adventure world. You want hoverboards? We got it. Wish you had a big arcade right in your home? We have one. Want to feel inevitable by snapping your fingers with the Infinity Gauntlet? We can get one. Wait, only if you promise that you won't erase half the population. Well, as you can see, the crazy hangout in the wildest event turned the tables. Let's go upstairs now. Remember the cozy chill out zone? That section is actually for anyone and everyone who just needs to unwind. For people who are suffering from serious mental health issues to people who just need a day to relax. Remember when I was talking about the crazy hangout adventure world? That's actually supposed to be for anyone I just talked about. But instead of a quiet, cozy place, these people need to have a little bit of fun and laughter in their lives. A place where everyone can find happiness, one of the most key ingredients for an amazing life. The kitchen will have a never-ending pantry for all of the men, women, and children who don't have enough food to eat and are starving every single day. I made sure that there would be enough beds. Oh wait, okay. I made sure that there would be enough beds for every single person out there who needs a home and a warm, comfy bed to sleep in for the rest of their life. I know there would be a lot of different people in this house. So lastly, I would be 1,000% committed that this is a friendly, safe place for anyone, no matter what they look like, how old they are, or what they believe in. Everyone will respect one another. So now I've told you what I would want in my dream house. Have you changed your mind about what you want in yours? Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Wait, Nadine, post poem interview. I fully enjoy your dream house, making that a reality. So I have a question for you. It's like the would you rather. Just want to get to know you more. Would you rather for your dream house? Would you rather it be like a beach house right next to the beach? Or would you rather it be like on top of like a huge mountain, or in the middle of a big city where everything be popping?
Maybe big city? I mean, I kind of like beaches. I'm kind of afraid of the ocean because it might look beautiful, but it can like kill you and drown people, and I don't know how to
You
swim.
live in Pacifica and you're afraid of the ocean?
Not really, not to that extent, but I just don't really like. I'm just not that type of person.
You open your window in the
I just-
morning and you're just like the music's playing, birds are tweeting, you're like, sorry, the ocean.
I'm not scared of the look of it. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not that type of person.
All right, I'm just clowning. I like to clown. Nadine, thank you very much for building that house in our imaginations, at least. Thanks so much. I want to thank the Pacifica Education Foundation. A lot of the youth that are performing today are coming out of the Pacifica School District. And I am thankful that the Pacifica Education Foundation funds us all year long. So for 28 weeks, local poets are able to go into the schools to run poetry workshops and after-school workshops and events, kind of like the one we're at now and the one that is happening next week. The last Summer Slam is on August 10th. There's a workshop beforehand at 2 p.m. and at 3:15 is when the slam is getting started, 3:15 until 4:30. I am going to keep going with this poetry list. It is always really fun to see this person come back around when she has time available between work and applying for colleges. Please welcome to the stage, Dima.
Can y'all hear me well?
Can you talk a little bit louder?
People are asleep right now, but is this
Got
good?
you. Okay, I'm gonna make sure to be really quiet then.
Okay. I'll go ahead. First of all, dude, I love Spark. I always love to be back. I can't get enough of Spark, even though, yeah, it's summer and we're all like busy in the summer, but I'm actually in Palestine right now, so time zones are pretty different. Yeah, so that was like actually this poem is related because just like the feeling of, coming back to like my family's place after 2 years is like it was pretty overwhelming. So I tried to unwind myself by like trying to write at least something every day. And I came across one of the days um where I realized like the whole synesthesia part of this ongoing prompt where like you're mixing in the senses and the feelings. I was like, oh, I didn't use the philosophical prompt, but I feel like this goes well. So yeah, still a draft. Okay, I'll just go ahead then. Best remedy for second home sudden culture shock. Number one, go to a wedding. Watch as the vibrant array of gowns, hijabs, and heavy perfumes file through an equally vibrant plaza, dotted with plastic flowers twice as pretty as the women, but not half as fake. Smell the wafting chemicals from the smoke machine as the bride and groom slow dance through artificial fog, straight out of a Taylor Swift music video. Sweet as syrup and twice as sappy. 3. Let the taste of fatarish and cheap hummus be painkiller and relax your face into an entertained smile, enjoying non-alcoholic date juice from a bougie wine glass because, well, this is Buena. That's the name of the city. 4. Listen to the deafening speakers. Bring your heart rate to a more relaxed rhythm. 5. Feel the sweat peeling away your nervous shivers as you wade through the dance floor to clap along with the crowd. Familiar grins bouncing up and down, unwinding. Laughing bride, a rare scene. Blushing groom, a common one. The dance floor, a place where I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but the only place where I feel like I do. Why I chose to sit on the broken plastic chair, I have no idea, but the dance floor is inviting enough to lure me out of it. Adrenaline smiles, tears of joy smiles, tired of being fake smiles, so fake it's tightened up in a sour knot staining your face and everyone can spot your distaste smiles. Hey, at least people look like they're enjoying themselves. And that's green tea and honey enough for me. Petty judging frowns scattered across the tables are a common symptom that no medicine can change, but that's okay. Everyone is sick here, and to heal everyone would take an eternity starting from 1948. And that's all I got so far. So yeah.
Oh my God. I'm kind of stuck between, wow, I love hearing your poems, and oh my gosh, you're in Palestine. That's why I haven't heard from you for the last like maybe month.
We got some catching up to do.
We got some catching up to do. Um, we're at the interview part still. I wanted to ask you, how has, this sounds like a stupid question, but how has leaving the US and going to Palestine affected your writing? Like, how do you look at it from a writer's point of view in terms of everything that you're processing?
Actually, that was like a big part of like what I was thinking of, like on the plane. Like, I mean, first of all, just based on the fact that I haven't been writing much in the summer until I actually arrived here. But like again, like I feel like if you travel anywhere, even if it's like a place you're familiar with, there's always like just boom, like culture shock. And so I'm just taking everything in. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. Oh yeah, uh, the streets are a lot smaller. Like, oh yeah, it's like 90 degrees in the morning. So I'm just like writing about everything like I see. Actually, the whole document is a mess right now, but I'm just like basically my writing style is just a mess of things that I notice and things that I see. But yeah, I feel like my style has changed a lot in this past month.
No, that's really amazing. That's really amazing. And then are you coming back? Are you ever coming back? Is this a
Oh yeah, this is just a summer trip. I'm actually coming back in 2 days.
2 days? Cool, cool,
Yep.
cool. I have a feature invitation for you that
Hey,
is until the end of the month, but we'll talk about
business
that
time.
later. Thank you so much, so much. Now, we've almost reached the end of our open mic list, but I'm going to invite one more poet up. They are a really fantastic poet and a good friend. They've competed all over like the place, and they really love to grab fish tacos. Please welcome, we have Mike Taylor. I thought I would do a poem for you today because the Olympics are so hype, and I have a poem that doesn't exactly fit, but watching the Olympics, I was really thinking of this. So the games that I play, right? I like to play this game called Count the Black People, especially in places you normally don't see us. So I went snowboarding at Lake Tahoe, and the fresh powder blanketing the slopes wasn't the only overwhelmingly white thing on the mountain. Like maybe all the other Black people woke up and collectively we thought, nope, it's cold today, all winter, every year, and then just went back to sleep or something. I'm alone up here, standing on a mountain of disposable income, melted into snow gear and jackets and masks and boards and lift tickets. Maybe Black Diamond is a reference to how steep the price is to climb up Mount Privilege. So I'm playing this game called Count the Black People, and there are rules. You can't count anyone who works there. Unless they own the establishment, you can't count yourself or the people you came with. You are an anomaly, an observer, a quota requirement in an office that will keep questioning how qualified you are to be here. Dan can have your spot in a second, but you've always had to work twice as hard for half and half to lighten the bite of a world that wants you decaf in school. I'm playing where it took 9 years to count one Black teacher, and now I'm that Black teacher in a district that I count kids on one hand who look like I did. Ms. Davis, I saw you in 9th grade English class, and you were probably counting me while teaching parallel syntax, even though 140 years ago, neither of us would have been allowed to read a book. So when do laws stating Black people can't do this become Black people don't do that, or don't own houses, or don't go camping? And I'm counting you with law degrees and making moves in court systems and checks and balances, and Simone Biles balancing on Olympic final balance beams. And I see you everywhere, in swimming pools, on beaches, surfing waves that were supposed to drown us when they said we couldn't be part of their world. But I see you under the spotlights of the SF ballet Black Swan, swimming north across a stage set up against you. I count you, Black nurse, Black doctor. I count you, cousin. And Chris, is the Black barber cut my hair for free before a job interview? I count you in every city, in every office, on every mountain, lifting up higher up on the slope. Thank you. All right.
Hooray, hooray, hooray. Dope poem, Mike, dope poem. Wow, booyah.
This is coming to the end of today's open mic. Thank you so much for joining. Share the link. We like saying poems. Next week, I'm gonna see you for the slam. Ciao.